All right, so if you've got pain in your shoulder with overhead pressing or overhead reaching, here's gonna be a good series of things that you can start with. And so one of the reasons why you can have pain with overhead reaching is because of tendonitis of the rotator cuff. And so, when I look at people's shoulder, the majority of people can benefit from having additional strength of rotator cuff muscles just because it's such an overlooked muscle group. And so some of the things that I like to do in the early phase are what I call reactive isometrics. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a pulley, I'm gonna go at 90 degrees, and you can do this, like 90, there's nothing magical about 90 degrees. Like, you can change that angle, and I encourage you to change that angle. I'm gonna show you some different ways to change that position to make your shoulder more resilient. But all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna step out. As I step out, obviously there's a little bit more force temporarily, and so that's why we call them reactive isometrics, is because that force is just changing as the plate is going up and down. And so that's gonna help me to establish control and stability in the shoulder. Now I could do this in a variety of different positions, right? Like I could do a reactive isometrics stepping back this way. I could turn it this way. I can raise up the pulley. And this is kind of like later phase, what I like to do here. I like to bring it up, put it into 90 degrees and step out. So this is really good, especially for throwing athletes to be able to do those step outs. You can mix it up, right? So that's in 90 degrees of abduction. I can bring it up to 90 degrees of flexion, and I can step it in and out. And that's a really good early phase rehab exercise that we use with our shoulder injuries, shoulder pain patients to make sure that we can start to engage the muscles around the rotator cuff, create stability and strength, and then progress them into more active movement.